Shreveport City Councilwoman LeVette Fuller is here. Hey, Miss LeVette, welcome back to KEEL. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm getting caffeinated, so I'm okay.
Okay, so Erin, secret source McCarty, she's got all this news. Well, you tell her, or
I got now my third confirmation of concerns about insurance in Shreveport from a third person now. They know who they are, and there's a city council meeting Monday, a special called meeting to talk about this. I'm told, LeVette, that the insurance policy the city now has with this new carrier drops our coverage from $800 million to $50 million.
That's what my understanding is as well. And that concerns me. I've seen the weather reports for tomorrow, and what that means to me is if, like, a tornado touches down downtown, like, we are going to be below the bottom. We won't be able to cover a doggone thing.
So there really is. I mean, you guys really are having a special get-together on Monday to discuss this. Who called it? Who called it? What do you expect to happen?
So the way it works, the council rules is either the chair or 4 members can call a meeting outside of our regular schedule. So 4 of us have called this meeting, is my understanding, or maybe Jerry called it, to have this meeting on Monday, because what we have to do is vote on whatever comes from the mayor as a suggestion for this purchasing that needs to happen based on the new insurance law we have. So we found out that that some checks needed to be cut. We need to bind the insurance before it lapses, right? So that's the first thing. And then in that discussion, we're like, well, let's see what the coverage is and all that. And it looks like we have less than we thought we did. So we're having this meeting so that we can, vote on what needs to happen as far as finding our insurance coverage so we don't have a lapse.
Well, can you reverse course if you don't have enough coverage? Can you reverse course?
And are you going to ask the mayor or someone with the administration why you've reduced coverage more than like 90%?
Well, I think we're going to be asking all of those questions on Monday so we can get to the bottom of this and make sure that the city is taken care of. But I'm literally worried about the weekend. Y'all pray that we don't have any tornadoes.
As we sit today, we have $50 million in coverage.
That's my understanding.
Do we not understand that the government plaza building alone is probably $100 million?
That's a good question. I think that's something that's going to come up. I'm unclear on some of this, y'all, because we don't have all the documents. Like, I have an email here that says that we're still waiting on documents from the agent that drafted everything. So it's like, why is that taking so long in the age of technology? See, my car is going to the shop, right? Mm-hmm. And I was able to send a police report over yesterday. I took pictures of it, sent it to the agent, and not even an hour later, they were like, "Oh, take your car to this shop, and here's your rental car." So, I don't understand why this is taking so long for us to get paperwork on these really, really big deals if we've had all of this stuff going on since January.
When you say to the listeners, I don't understand why it's taking so long. Maybe I missed it. How long has it taken? And if I said, do you feel like you're being stonewalled a little bit? Is that an unfair description?
I'm not sure about stonewalled. See, this is the joy of being out on sick leave, is I've been able to nap on pain pills through all of this for a good week and a half. But now they're all like, well, we didn't want to bother you with anything and stress you out so you can heal. And I'm like, look, I'm bored. The most exciting thing that's happened is a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios. I haven't had them since I was 20. And then they're like, well, since you asked, here we are. But it looks like in the last couple of days, requests have been made from council and staff of the administration, and the administration seems to be waiting to get stuff back from Mr. Sykes. And Mr. Sykes has been asked to appear at the meeting on Monday.
Ooh, okay. So this policy's going to save us a ton of money, though, right?
Well, if we're a grasshopper, we think that we're, saving money, but the ants already know you can't party all day and think you're going to have a savings. You know what I mean? Did I just go too preschool on y'all?
Is this policy cheaper than the old one?
We appreciate the Aesop's Fable reference, but please give us a little more detail.
Is this policy cheaper than the one we had last year?
I don't think that well, my understanding that is not. I think that we're paying more money for less coverage. But again, we need all the documents.
Then why did we change?
Well, that was at the purview. Okay, look, I cannot speak to why we made changes outside of what you heard in the meetings where we voted on the legislation to make sure that it didn't happen again. Remember that?
Yeah.
Let's rewind several weeks. We suggested that instead of doing what we've always done and just keeping things the same way that they've always been done, that we need more transparency and more oversight when we're spending this much money. So we passed legislation, I believe it was 5-2, with me and Willie voting with the Republicans, saying that we did need that oversight because what's happening is we want people to be able to see a request for proposals when we're spending this much money for this much coverage, and that we should be looking at it every year.
Pardon me, what you're talking about? What you're talking about is that right now
is the insurance. Right, we voted on this because the relationships with our previous people have been in place for 20 years,
and it's the mayor that makes it's totally at the under the power of the mayor.
It was under the power of the mayor. Thank you for reining me in because I chase the squirrels. So our mayor said that it was within his purview because this is the way that it's been. And the last time these relationships were visited was 20 years ago. It was in his purview to make the changes. And so he made the changes. And in that conversation, he said that, one, we're getting a minority agent now. And two, there's nothing saying I can't. And three, we're going to be saving money. So we said, okay, then. He said, well, how much money? And then he said, we won't know until 6 months out when we look at the budget to see what the actual savings is. Well, now it's April. We're past this 100 days, and we're looking at this paperwork because we still need to sign off on these checks and whatnot, and we're finding out that is not the case.
So do you think you've got your meeting Monday, your special meeting Monday, to wrap up? Last question. Do you think you'll have the paperwork? Do you think you'll have the information from the mayor's office by then? And do you think Mr. Sykes will make an appearance?
I believe Mr. Sykes will be there and will be able to make his case for what's actually going on. And I hope that he has all of the paperwork that is needed so that we can determine the best course of action. I don't want to believe that any of this was done I don't think that anyone set out to do anything dumb or bad or malicious. But I do think that I'm glad that we now have mechanisms in place for more oversight moving ahead.
Councilwoman LeVette Fuller, thanks for your time. Get well soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.